Welcome to the OptiSaw virtual conference. I'm Joey Nelson, president of JoeScan, and I'm here to give you some obvious and not so obvious ways that 3D scanners can improve your sawmill profitability and make your life easier. You're going to walk away with better tools to evaluate the ROI of a system upgrade and the confidence to pull the trigger on projects that you've been putting off. And I started JoeScan about 20 years ago with the idea of making scanners simpler and easier to use. As you probably well know, scanners are a critical part of any sawmill's recovery and efficiency. So where is the money? Some of it may be in obvious places. Some of it you may have to look a little harder to find. There's an easy way and there's a hard way, but both of them are fairly easy once you know where to look. Now everyone, look under your chairs. Just kidding. The fact is we all have blind spots. So how can scanning upgrades make you money? So let's start off with a few of the obvious ways first. All of your improvements are going to fall under two buckets. You're going to either get more value out of your logs, or you're going to be scanning longer or faster. So it's pretty much log value, uptime, or productivity. There are obvious performance spec improvements that come with any new scanning equipment. Technology keeps marching forward and getting faster and faster, and these lead to better decisions for your optimizer on grade. It allows you to get a higher throughput and increased value recovery. Another obvious way to find money is to remove bottlenecks. Usually fairly obvious that one of your machines is a bottleneck in your mill, and that by speeding it up you can increase the utilization of all your other equipment. What might not be so obvious is that scanning could be the thing that's slowing down your systems. This is somewhat of an issue on edgers. It can be a big issue on a lot of older carriage scanners where they require the log to be stopped for an extended period to scan. And by allowing that scanning to happen quicker, you can get more pieces through your carriage. You know, another obvious one would be your equipment being obsolete. If you see a floppy disk like this, you probably are in trouble. It's also possible that you've got an up-to-date system, but you're not keeping it calibrated or don't know how to keep it calibrated anymore. A big problem in any older system is unsupported hardware. It can be like a ticking time bomb. And lead times right now for a new equipment are long. It's a big issue in the industry. And so if you have a critical component go down in your line, it's going to be really hard to get a replacement for it. So you need to be factoring that in and planning to get things, get your systems upgraded while you still can, as opposed to waiting and having to limp along with half-working hardware. So these are the obvious ones, but there may be other money-making opportunities to upgrading that aren't so obvious. There can be easy money hanging out in the blind spots. There isn't an optimized system out there that couldn't be improved. It's easy to get stuck in the mentality of it's running, so it must be running okay. Or it's not giving me major problems, so I don't need to worry about it. But one of the best ways to keep things running and at their highest performance levels is to give them attention. Even the mechanical drift of sifting components can cause problems eventually. You got to think of this like regular maintenance on your car. But there is a big difference between your car and sawmill optimization equipment. You know, a 69 Chevy is going to be easy to get someone to work on. A 95 optimizer, not even close. The difference is that equipment in sawmills has all been tailored to meet the specific needs of your sawmill. It's not the same in every mill, cookie cutter copied like a car is. It's bespoke. And so when you get someone to come and look at your equipment, there's a good chance that they don't really understand all the details of the software, the scanning, and the specific kind of customizations made for your mill. And so when you're trying to get support on a piece of equipment like this, if you don't have exactly the same person who installed it coming out to do the service, there's a good chance that they're missing something and you're not really getting the best support you possibly can. So with older scanning equipment and older optimizers, you're not only missing out on the latest and greatest specs, things like higher scan rates, higher scan density, better coverage of all four sides of a board, increased computing power to do more optimization decisions. But you're not even capable of achieving the specs that your system had when it was brand new, because it's gotten old. Things have come out of calibration. And nobody really understands how to get that system running as well as it could. Even relatively new scanning hardware could be costing you money if you can't get good support for it. One of the ways that this really comes out is when you call up for support for your system, and you feel like you're playing a game of roulette because you just don't know whether the person you're going to get who's going to answer the phone knows anything about your mill or your system or the type of system. If you've got the newest system, odds are everybody answering the phone will know it. But if it's an old system, it really becomes, it's like you're betting on a number instead of red or black. So can you upgrade the software? This is an important question to ask your optimizer. Is this software something that's still supported? Sometimes, a simple software upgrade is something worth doing, and it will improve profitability without the need to buy any new hardware. A lot of optimizers continue to add features. It's also just an important indication for whether that system is going to continue to be supported and whether you're going to continue to get support from the vendor that you need to keep that system running. I'm sure you're now thinking, oh my God, I've got so many things to do. I've got all kinds of stuff. I just don't have time to keep up with software rollouts and updates and hardware obsolescence. And my recommendation would be to reach out to your integrators, reach out to the vendors that do the optimization, and have them come out and take a look. Say, I'm wondering if this is something I should be upgrading. They can come out, take a look. They're going to potentially give you ways that you can improve the system without upgrading. They'll give you an idea of really what your priorities should be in upgrading. They're a great resource. It's free. You should use them. One thing to watch out for, and I think it really makes this entire issue kind of challenging, is the psychological effect of sunk costs. So you've invested a lot of money in your whatever scanning and optimization you have in your mill, it's hard for you to want to throw all of that away and put something new in. But if you really think rationally about the way to make the most money, you need to ignore the amount of money you've spent and really look at, moving forward, what is the right answer. You don't need to keep pouring money on a solution that isn't working just because it was expensive. And being aware of this will help you make better decisions. With upgraded hardware comes upgraded support and a system that works better. So how do you do it? Well, here's a simple kind of schematic for what you might look at. You'd want to look at each of the systems you've got in your mill that is optimized and look at when they were installed, who installed them, when they were last upgraded, how much of a nuisance is it to your mill staff. What are some of the things more you would like out of that system? Are any of the software or hardware components at their end of life, or when is that coming? Putting this list together for all your systems will help you decide and prioritize and schedule what upgrades you want to do next to keep your mill running at full efficiency. So thanks for taking the time to learn how upgrades can be a source of easy money for your sawmill. We'd love to talk to you. Please feel free to email me or give us a call, and we can discuss about how modern state-of-the-art scanning can help improve your mill.